right, so it is Wellness Wednesday, and with all the time that we spend on computers and our phones and other electronics, we wanted to know more about what we can do and what we're doing, especially with our eyes.
Yeah, I worry about this all the time too. Dr. Justine Odell is from Spartanburg Vision West, and she's here with us this morning to answer our questions. Good morning.
Thank you for having me here today. Good morning.
So many of us stare at computer screens all day long. Is it taking a toll on our eyes?
You know, that's a great question. Digital eye strain is something that we're seeing more and more commonly with the amount of time we spend on our digital devices, whether it's at the office or even at home, 8 hours a day, and then often we're on our phones at night.
Yeah, but the thing is, unfortunately, we can't live without those devices.
Right.
Yeah. I know my son recently had to get some glasses, and they did fit him with some glasses that help with the blue light. What is blue light, and how does that affect our eyes?
Yeah, that's a great question. So digital eye strain can be from many different factors. Blue light is one of them. It's a shorter wavelength, so it's a little bit more powerful. So having blue blockers in the lenses can help, or even having a filter on your computer screen to block some of that blue light is helpful.
Okay, so not only do we need them, for our work sometimes, but some of us are really bad about continuing to look at them even right before we go to bed.
Yeah.
So,
not saying who that
is. So, I mean, I guess like you said, adjust the light or something, but I guess any advice on checking Facebook at the last minute or updating work before you go to bed? Because our brains are trying to shut down, but we're
Always
keeping everything awake by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. So digital eye strain can present in a couple different ways. We can have more headaches, frontal headaches, having burning, stinging, watery eyes, and even just having eye fatigue at the end of the day, or even blurred vision, are all a result of the time that we spend on our digital devices. Whether it's not blinking during those, when we're doing things up close, we don't blink as much when we're looking at a digital screen. We actually blink 30% less. So some of the things you can be doing, whether it's during the day or at the end of the day, is just taking blinking breaks. The 20-20-20 rule is to look 20 feet away every 20 minutes for 20 seconds. And so that actually relaxes that focusing muscle, because the closer you hold something, the more focusing effort you're having to exert. So holding things at a reasonable distance with your arms kind of like this for a phone, or even for a computer, the optimal distance is 20 to 28 inches.
Interesting. Yeah, what we've noticed as journalists or as anchors, actually, we read the prompter, which is the camera right in front of us. And what was happening to me, I was doing it for 4.5 hours every morning. My eyes started spasming.
Yes.
Is that something that's, I guess that's something like what you're talking about, make sure that you're seeing from a distance and also up close.
Right. So having those breaks of looking 20 feet away relaxes that focusing system, because you can have your accommodation, your focusing system can spasm from doing a lot of up close work, but also those small muscles that you were talking about kind of twitching can spasm from having too much of that eye strain.
I was going to say, when do you need to go to the doctor for something like that?
That's a great question. So preventative measures are the most important thing. So a comprehensive eye exam annually is really the baseline to make sure your prescription is at an appropriate place for you. And then from there, your doctor can assess if you're having trouble with your focusing system. It works like a zoom in a camera, right? If we're having that ability all day to be able to look up close, you might not be able to do that. And so a computer lens or an anti-fatigue lens can help relax that focusing muscle and just make it more comfortable for viewing.
All right. Well, thanks so much for all this great advice.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Justine.